First league, Onslaught League, right? Tier Maker, yep. Onslaught was the first league ever. I played this league. I played it up to like tier 2 maps, I remember. I got to like tier 2 maps after like, I don't know, a day or two or something. I had Shavron's wrappings drop, which was like the best, most valuable item in the game. I don't remember why. Maybe it was like Spork Totems or something fucking stupid. I don't fucking know. Whatever. All I did mostly back then was like race. Onslaught League. It's just like 20%. It was just Onslaught in every mob. That's it. That was the league. The first one they did. Check this out. You know where it goes? Straight to the fucking bottom. That was actually the first league. I mean, I guess it's, you know, you got to start somewhere. Second league. Nemesis. I don't know what this. It's Nemesis. Nemesis. This is where Headhunter came from. Nemesis League. I actually played this one to like, I don't know, maybe like a week. No, probably like 2 weeks. Two and a half weeks. Two and a half weeks. I played it a little while. 2.5 weeks, right? About two and a half, 3 weeks. I remember people were using the Bringer of Rain helmet, playing like Dual Strike or something. I don't fucking know. I just remember like Hellman running around with that shit. I was ground slamming. I remember I was ground slamming with a Marohi Urki. That was badass. It was definitely better than Onslaught League. I remember the game feeling really hard. Like you'd run into like Storm Herald, and it was like actually really spooky to run like Storm Herald mobs. Ellie Cleave was the shit. No, I don't think it was that good. It was good like early, right? It was good early. Like leveling early? I don't think it was good later. Volatiles, Corrupting Blood, Storm Heralds, Old Man Story. Not that old. F? C? I don't know. What am I like? Like it's better than Onslaught League. It's like here. I don't know how I would like. I don't know. Maybe I move it around later. It was like a good step up, I would say, from Onslaught. But I mean, the league experience as a whole, or like compared to others, or like the league mechanic. I'll just go by the league experience as a whole. I think that's the best way to put it. League experience as a whole. That's how the alphabet goes. It goes S, A, B, C, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Alright, Nemesis Rare, Nemesis League. I'll just go by the league experience as a whole. What comes next? It's Ambush Invasion? When did Beyond come? Because I played Beyond. I remember playing some Beyond. Maybe that was on stream, though, a long time ago. Ambush Invasion. I played a little bit of Invasion. Like, I think a couple patches had already come in. I didn't play the immediate. I played it on stream, actually. I remember. Invasion League. Invasion League. I never died in Invasion League. I know that. And I remember a trillion people dying. I remember it was like, I think Hellman walked up to a giant skeleton dude, whatever his name is, and he got clubbed in the face and died. That was cool. Basically everybody died to Invasion League. All those bosses were like way too powerful for most characters. F, C? Like, just for the like XD factor, I like want to give it more points, but like these are all the shitter leagues first. They're all gonna be fucking terrible. The Spectrum. I hardly played. I was playing D3 during most of this time, but I did play a little bit of POE on the side. Invasion was great because it was terrifying. A tier easy. For my experience, the tiny bit I played, it was like a snooze fest. That's what it felt like for me. Ambush. I mean, it's like whatever. I almost want to put all of these just in F tier. They're all like just like whatever leagues. I don't know. Whatever. Here, let me just take the softcore ones out because I actually didn't play them right. It's like, whatever. Alright, what comes next? You said Beyond, right? I played a tiny bit. This is gonna make so many people rage. I just want to put Beyond here. Like, Beyond is just like the stupidest thing in the game. It's actually just annoying. Yay, more mobs for EXP, and they're annoying. How mad does that make people? How mad does that make people? Yay, more mobs, and they're really annoying, and sometimes you get an annoying boss, and hey, maybe you're doing like 4 damage mods, or like 6 trillion extra tanky mods, and now you gotta fight this boss, and he's kind of annoying. Like, great. That is an incorrect assessment. You're gonna upset the softcore community? Okay, here's what I remember from Beyond, like when I played it. Tell me how accurate this is. Beyond League comes out, and you're fighting in maps, you're killing rare mobs, you're killing the boss and whatever, and for whatever the fuck reason, the Beyond mobs are like 5 times, the rare Beyond mobs are like 5 times tankier than anything else that's in the map. And their rewards are fucking shit. Is that right? That sounds about accurate from my experience. That's kind of vaguely what I remember. Is that pretty accurate? I think that's pretty accurate. Like, we didn't have the DPS to kill them fast, and it was just like obnoxious and annoying. Beyond, I put it in F tier. That's what makes a league good? What, something that's annoying and frustrating that you don't want to deal with, and then whenever you overcome it, it gives you nothing back? Like, risk reward, right? For hardcore Bloodlines? I don't think I played Bloodlines. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't play Bloodlines. That was the one where they like had like phylactery link and they got rid of it, right? The stupid thing that's on the stupid one boss. Bloodlines? I don't fucking know, dude. Like, I didn't play it, so like at all. I don't remember playing it at all. Maybe I did. I don't remember. I think I played it a tiny bit. Thornflesh? That's like what, Reflect? Necro Vigil? That's where like the circles on the ground, right? Where you couldn't kill the mobs on them. New category, never played. I mean, I played all of these, just like not much. I played like Invasion for like maybe half a week. Onslaught like half a week. Beyond, I don't know, maybe a week. Nemesis like 2 or 3 weeks. Bloodlines, I think I played it for like, I think I got to maps. And I did a couple maps and that was about it. I don't fucking know. Lines, I'll just throw it there, whatever. It's just like fucking grandpa shit. Is it gonna be like when's Perandus League? That's when my memory will start catching up a little better. Tempest? Oh fuck. Oh yeah, it's like Tempest and Talisman and like Torment, like these super shitty leagues, right? Tempest League. Tempest then Breach? No, it's no, this is like, all right, I'm already putting it here. I already know Tempest goes here. Shut up. Tempest goes here instantly, no matter what. Tempest goes here. Here's why Tempest goes here. It fucking sucks. So you get these like fucking, they were on a cycle, right? Like an hour cycle, and every hour they would reset, right? And like per zone / map. So for the hour, it would be like potentially like adds fire bullshit to the map for like a whole hour. And then it would change after that new hour. And but what people ended up doing was they would like, they'd sit there and farm like, I don't know, one map with Vol Winds in it, the Corrupting Tempest, for like an hour. And then they would switch to something else, right, next hour, and they'd just sit there and like, they'd open up another website on the side that would like have people vouch or whatever for what mods were on each map per hour. It's a really stupid league. It was a really bad league. Also, like, the Tempest would spawn on like mobs slightly off the screen. They'd give them like super damage buffs, and then they'd start blasting you, and like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's just a bad league. Ambush was even worse. Oh, software league. All I gotta say is, if like Talisman comes next, right? So I already put Talisman here, but I actually want to put it right here, like under Tempest. This is like the worst. This might actually be the worst league that they ever created. Do you guys think this is the worst league they ever created? That's what I feel like. I just want to make this. Like, this is worse than Onslaught League. This actually just, like, makes the game worse. This is the worst league they ever created. Talisman League. Even to this day, Talisman fucking sucks. You get Talismans, like, as a fucking... They drop it into the game as a reward, supposedly, and it's a punishment. Can I just have a fucking rare amulet with the mods that these Talismans roll? Because you can't anoint them. They're just annoying. They're just like, hey, it's like an identified amulet that you can vendor for maybe some alteration shards or maybe an augment. It's bad. I remember this was the first league I almost hit 100, right? I hit like 99.9, I think, and then I like died magically. My internet just instantly died mysteriously for like a fraction of a second, just enough time to kill me. That was good. Fuck that league. Perandus League. Even though I had a personal negative experience with Perandus, I might put this at B. I'm thinking I might put this at B. It's at least C. I might put this as B. C or B. It's close to B. Perandus is definitely better than... It's way better than all these. It's better than everything here, for sure. That's already here. I'll put this up here because this, like, broke, like, the game for a lot of people. So what happened in Perandus League was you get these coins. And every map, right? It was every map you'd run into a Kadiro. And you could exchange your coins for items. But the thing was that his chance to spawn, like, good uniques... And there are ways to exploit this. Like, you could just keep, like, doing the same zone over and over really easily and find them really quick. Even before maps, and he'd have crazy uniques for sale and stuff like that. But, like, anybody who played any of these leagues who was an average player, casual, or, like, you know, even like, a decent player, probably didn't see hardly any items. Like, they couldn't use any, like, build-defining, like, top-tier uniques. They would never have access to them. And they're way too expensive to ever even try to farm on your own. Because everything into this league, even further beyond this point, is like, you spent the majority, I would say, like, as a hardcore player, I'd probably spend 80% of my currency, 80% of my currency on rolling maps. But, like, when Perandus League came out, because the coins shit, it was really easy to find good uniques, like, I don't know, Comb's Heart or Shavs, Taste of Hate, whatever it be. And you could do, like, you can make a lot of characters around certain unique items. So it, like, gave all the average players, just like every player had access to basically everything, which, you know, you could look at that as a bad thing, but for many people, like your average players or whatever, it's like, they actually got to experience more of the game, more of the build stuff. And it wasn't even that rare, like everybody was having access to these T1 uniques and stuff. Now, the issue with Perandus was the performance issues were fucking awful. I actually quit Perandus League, I think on day 2. I quit streaming it, and I just went back to start streaming D3, and I was still playing Perandus off stream, but the performance issues were so fucking bad that I wanted to punch something as hard as I could on a daily basis. They were so bad. The Perandus, like, the performance issues were the worst I've ever seen in Path of Exile, ever. The amount of lag and crashes and inconsistency in frames was just absurdly bad. It was really bad. Like, that's the thing. That's the one thing that maybe, like, makes it a shittier league. Yeah, and it crashed all the time. It was just awful performance. Like, it's like the pinnacle. It's like the defining moment of Path of Exile's performance issues is Perandus League. They still have a lot of performance issues, but it hasn't been that bad, like Perandus level bad. It came after Perandus League. Is it Breach? Is it Breach? Or is it Prophecy? Sounds like it's Prophecy, right? Prophecy came before Breach. Prophecy League. I didn't play this one, actually. I know what Prophecy League is, and I watched a little bit of streamage of it. It's like Reach of the Council and that kind of stuff, right? When that shit was OP. Was that like Lightning Arrow? What was the skill people were using? Lightning Arrow and Frost Walls or something like that, right? Just leave it at the bottom, Prophecy League. It has some nice aspects as of this day still, Prophecy League. There's some nice stuff with it, but like some of the upgraded uniques and I mean, adding some of the prophecy stuff to maps and stuff, it can be quite useful, but I mean, as a league, I just throw it here, man. There's no way it's even this high. Like, it was just a bad league. Coin stupid shit. Next is Breach League, right? I'm pretty sure. Let me see. None of this. Like, this is let me see. These are like softcore variants. When did Warbands come out? I don't know when Warbands came out. It was Essence League. Warbands was with Tempest. Alright, then fuck that shit. Is it what was that league? Essence League, the crafting bullshit? I didn't play this league either. I was like D3ing pretty hard, I'm pretty sure, between Prophecy and Essence League. We were playing Legion, is that what it was? That sounds pretty accurate. F needs a second row. It might at this rate. These are just like stupid, like this needs like a super F league. Essence League, like I don't even have to play it and I know what the experience is, right? Is this accurate? Like, you get some essences once in a while and you can try to craft some like slightly better stuff than your rare items. Right? That's it. That's Essence League. There's nothing more to it, you just get some shitty crafting stuff. Essence mobs with volatiles. Yeah, that shit was fucked. I've died to that on hardcore before. Because it was like super multiplying their damage way too much. Where's the good leagues? Well, I mean, they've stepped up their game a lot. I mean, if there's a reason why not that many people played POE back then relative to now, or relative to recent times. It's because all of these leagues, basically, all these leagues in C and F are just like, they're actually just kind of bad. They're basically just the basic game with a tiny sprinkle of something slightly different. That's what they are. The standards of leagues today are like way more. Anyway. Breach, right? Breach League? This is when, because I remember I quit Legion to play Breach League and it was like the best thing I ever did. This is the first thing that has a good format. I'm not gonna say it's like S relative to everything, but relative to when it came out, this is like way better. Like, you went from this bullshit, this, like, you go Prophecy League, right? Then you go Essence League, like shitty shit on shit. And then you go to Breach League. It has the first good formula of lots of monsters that add a significant risk. They're harder than the map mobs. They drop a fuck ton of loot relative to the map. You're gonna get like more loot in the Breach back then than the entire map. So you do, unless it's in like a really bad spot, but that happens sometimes. And then it has the gated system where you get a bunch of splinters and eventually you can unlock a boss. And those bosses were all pretty hard relative to the other stuff in the game back then, which had good items, good rewards. You had like the amulets, right? Zoph's Heart, Pandemonious. Even the lightning one, Choir of the Storm, was actually really good because it wasn't capped back then, so you could get a lot of extra crit. You had Surrender, you had the Chiula stuff, so I had like a lot of good rewards. The only thing that was kind of shitty was, yeah, the Breach rings were actually Resonant Sleeper. They serve some purpose, to be fair. Like, you can get like a Chaos Res, like T1 life, high Chaos Res Breach Ring. Really good for like doing Shayula and stuff. But like, it's just like such a huge jump to go from like Essence and Prophecy League all the way up to Breach League. It's just like a night and day difference. It made all general mapping more enjoyable, and then it had like bosses to do. Bossing is good. Had interesting, unique items that a lot of them were used. Still today, a lot of them are used. It's just actually has the right formula of increases your mapping experience, has good bosses, and it has interesting drops. It's like everything that you need in a league. Breach League. What came after Breach? Let's see here. I don't think it's Abyss. It's not Bestiary. It's not Betrayal. It's not Bloodlines. Is it Harbinger? Is it Abyss? I thought it was Legacy, right? Is it Legacy? I know Harbinger's around this time. It's Legacy next. Legacy, then Harbinger. There's no Legacy in here. So in Legacy League, I don't know what I would have given Legacy League. It'd probably be like B for me. Like, a lot of like doing here's the logic. Adding certain things like Perandus or like Nemesis or whatever to the maps is like whatever. It's like, just give me Breach stuff, right? Unless I'm like targeting something specific, but for like EXP purposes or something. But I mean, it's kind of dumb. Legacy was like too many fucking coin thingies, whatever they're called, the tokens, and just I had a good time. It didn't meet up to Breach level, but I don't think it was a bad league. I don't think it was a spectacular league. It was a lot of recycling and using bad recycled stuff. All right, we'll skip on Harbinger. I don't think I can give this an A. I think this is B or C even. Maybe C? Like, what does Harbinger have? C? I kind of agree. I think it's about C. Alright, let me go through the thought process of Harbinger League. Harbinger League. And it's happened multiple leagues after this. If you're two-head, you get frustrated with a league like this, and you don't know how to get ahead. Like, if you can understand and figure out the league mechanic in a league like Bestiary League, you get way further ahead, and you exploit all the noobs, and you take advantage of what they don't know. That's Bestiary League, and this happens multiple leagues after this. You could dupe 6 links, and you gotta know what beasts do what, and how you can exploit them. Even still today with like imprints and split beast and what else can you, I don't know, there's a bunch of stupid little things you could do, and some of it was even more overpowered back then, but still to this day, like bestiary stuff is really important. Imprint, you can't get that anywhere else, right? Split beast, you still can't get that anywhere else. Prefix to suffix, suffix to prefix. Yeah, bestiary has like really good stuff. And I think it's important to have things, like it doesn't necessarily have to be the league mechanic, but there needs to be winners and losers, and Bestiary League created winners and losers. Like, not everybody doesn't get to win, right? And so this is a good example of a league where there were people who figured out things really fast, and then they exploited off, you know, the babies. And you became their food if you're a baby. Meanwhile, ETUP's like 26 linked astral plates or whatever. Uber Elder came out this league, which to this day I find kind of annoying. Uber Elder, but I think it's it's probably the best POE boss fight in the entire game is Uber Elder. I think that's pretty true. Uber Elder is probably the best POE fight in the entire game. He has good loot, sort of. Watcher's Eyes are like super pog, like 3 mod Watcher's Eyes drop off Uber Elder, like what, 1 in 5, 1 in 4, something like that. A lot of his current unique drops are arguable, like that they're even remotely useful, like whatever, they're kind of like meme or like way off way off to the side. Like they're not high in demand, his items, outside of the Watcher's Eyes. But he's still really fun to kill. What else? What else happened in Bestiary League? They buffed it multiple times to make it less annoying. But at the start, yeah, it was pretty annoying with like manually throwing nets and stupid shit. Is that about it for Bestiary League? I think that's about it, right? Eternity Shroud came later. It wasn't in this league, but even then it's kind of a meme item. Oh, the bosses, yeah. The aspects, some of the aspects are still really strong auras, like Spider, Crab. Lastly, the Herald dudes were using the aspect of the Avian. All those boss fights when they came out were moderately challenging, if even. They're about like Breach boss level, right? But like what is the rare one? Oh, the Tiger. Feral's Fur was pretty good back then. It's okay. The bossing in there is okay. It serves a purpose even still today with the auras, but their actual drops aren't very relevant, I think. There's a couple, like one of the spider items maybe, and like once in a while one of the items becomes relevant for a little bit, like the Avian Chest, last league, stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's easily a B. It's a good league. You can't say it's a bad league. What came after? Incursion, I think, right? This is when my memory's more fresh. It's been way more recent. Incursion, right? Incursion League. Instantly, as I don't know where I'm putting it. I'm just gonna put it here to start, but it might be C. Incursion League. All I remember was there was a bug with Leap Slam and the Vine Snare thing. Something, and it would crash your character, and I ripped my first character to that league to that crash. Bullshit. And then I also remember immediately after, it took me over 3,500 fuses to 6 link. Fuck that. But anyway, I find this shit a chore today to do. Incursion. It serves a purpose, double corrupt, and there's really nice rewards. Like certain T3 rooms are really fucking good. This might be C. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, good high positives. It's like, Elemental Hit was a thing this league, right? Elemental Hit got super buffed. Is that this league? I'm not sure if it's this league. The Elemental Hit was a thing. The Temple's kind of annoying, yeah. I'm rating the leagues when they came out as a whole, not as in like what they are today. I'm just saying. I'm not even rating them as a league mechanic. I'm just rating them when they came out. Everything that came out during that league. Arc Traps. I think I vaguely remember that. I didn't mess with the leveling stuff. I didn't care. I'm just trying to think like, what are the highs? What is plus? What is heavy, like high plus, high minus in this? Low minus in this? And I just feel like it's such a like middle ground league. It's kind of creative. Making your own temple, it just gets annoying after doing it many times. Some of the T3 rooms are really cool. Like double corrupts and double corrupt your gem, double corrupt an item. The boss is boring. Some of the incursion bases are really good even still today. They're kind of exciting, but nothing too ridiculous. Yeah, that's true. Crayburn quit POE hardcore during this league. That was a phenomenal moment. I remember that. That is true. This is where you really needed to pay attention to Chaos Res, yeah. I don't know, I don't think there's that much to say about Incursion League. It's kind of a mediocre league that had some okay stuff. It didn't have a good boss. It doesn't have super interesting loot. It does have some affixes that can be thrown, right? The Takati's on weapon and stuff like that. Mana, life rolls. That a lot of them have actually been nerfed, right? What came after Incursion? Let's see. Delve, right? Delve League. I think it's Delve League. This is the best league they ever made, I think. Delve League. Best league they've ever made. As a league experience, this is the only league I've ever played start to finish. This is the only league I've ever played start to finish. It's the best league they've ever made. It has... It's not even like the general mapping experience was better. It was just like you were playing 2 games at once. You had your normal maps and then you had the delve thing. And you're playing like 2 things at the same time. Because of the delve structure and the RNG with it, and like exploring and like learning the rooms and finding like what's valuable and good and going through cities. And then the bosses, right? The bosses had all the bosses were like... Okay, I'll give it this. The ring fucking shit.
Tree.
The bosses were a miss. Or the boss rings were fucking shit. The bosses themselves were fine. They're all whatever design. I think all is one of the best fights in the game. I think it's a really well designed fight. And his amulet's really sick because it rolls a random aura for free. All has really good loot. Some of the other bosses' loots are still relevant today. The bosses are okay, maybe a little bit better than okay. And then the crafting. This introduced like ridiculous crafting in the game with the fossils that basically have all been nerfed, but still are useful. There used to be delve specific fossil mods you could craft, and they weren't even rare. From each fossil type. I've never found it a chore to pick up Azurite through a map. I don't think it's strong enough that the general mapping experience was not interesting, because all you did was like, like I said, you're playing like 2 games at once. You're doing your normal map and then you had your delve going on at the same time. Delve was extremely rewarding. You would rather be in delves than maps at any point during the league. Everybody was worried about this league before it came out. They're like, oh, the car, it's not gonna like keep up or whatever. The cart's fine, right? It was never an issue. I remember the first day the league came out too, and people were dying to the dark, like the EMP or whatever the fuck, and like all your lights would go out, and then by the time the lights would come out and come back on, you would already degen to death. This is good. And then delve, you know, since it's like kind of like Greater Rift scaling or whatever, like it infinitely scaled. To do it once or maybe twice if you've never done it right, it's like, just see how strong you can make a character that can, you know, delve as deep as possible was like extremely time consuming and fun. To do it maybe once or twice. I've done it like 2 or 3 times now. Probably will do it again at some point in the future. I think it's the best league they've ever designed as a whole. Ugh. Next. What is next? Betrayal, right? Is it Betrayal? I think it's Betrayal, right? Betrayal B? I don't know where I'm putting it. Probably somewhere around there. Still to this day, I don't even know like every little trick in Betrayal. I don't even know all the rewards off the top of my head, but all the amount of memorization you had to do for Betrayal is fucking annoying. It's like too much. Like how many times have you alt-tabbed or like looked at the sheet, like a cheat sheet, to see who gives what, right? By now, most of us have a good percentage memorized, but like there's still a lot of fucking like stuff to like sit there and try and memorize. Bridge 69, yeah, and then like exploiting like baby areas and zones. I had a good time Betrayal. It was just they had this was the league they removed stat sticks, right? Is that right? I'm wanting to say that's the league they removed stat sticks. What was even good? I don't even remember what was good. Was I Molten Striking? I must have been Molten Striking Betrayal League. That would be my guess, right? Yeah, I was Molten Strike Lord. Molten Strike was god level build. Pure Breach Stones. Yeah, there's a lot of good rewards from the Betrayal dudes, like interesting things, but there's just like way too much information to sit there and try and assimilate. Like, here's how you want it. Here's what you wish Betrayal was. You instantly knew as much as you knew 1 month into Betrayal League at the start. Like, you just have like a month's worth of like playing and experiencing and like trying to like get as much Betrayal information, and then you could go back. Like, you don't have enough information going in. It's annoying. It's just way too much information to sit there and try and memorize like what every single person does and how they like how to force people into certain spots, and you know when you need to just sit there and like meathead to try and get like some guy on research, like Leo on research or whatever it be, and how the best way to do it. Unveiling fucking sucks ass still today. It's too annoying, but I'd rather unveiled modifiers be in the game and, you know, having it be some kind of like progression system. It's just really annoying picking up every single unveiled item and then, you know, going through the process. B at best. There's a lot of pluses here. It's just like, oh, the mastermind fight. Fuck that fight. Stupid. Mastermind fight to me is like, I'm trying to make a WoW boss encounter, basically, and it instead of it being enjoyable, it's annoying. It's like you're trying to do like mechanics, and like this thing rotates clockwise, and you got to not stand in it, and then you got to go to this pillar over here and kill it, and then once the pillar's dead, there's degen everywhere, and you got to make sure you're not getting hit by the fucking rotating clockwise bullshit. It's like, what is this? I just want to fight the boss. And then it resets your whole board that you worked so hard for. It's a WoW fight. It's a WoW fight with LFR loot, because all of her fucking loot is basically shit. What's next? Betrayal League, then... Betrayal... Is it Synthesis? Synthesis, yeah. Synthesis League, I'm thinking. How many of you are mad when I do this, where I'm putting it first before I fully think it through? This is where I'm thinking about putting Synthesis League. This is where I'm thinking of putting Synthesis League. Who's mad? Fight me. Fight me. This is where I'm thinking about putting it. This is where I'm thinking about putting it. This is a good league. And fuck all of... If any of you... Let me tell you something. If a single one of you, during Synthesis League, made one of those fucking Reddit QQ replies or posts, you're permabanned from the chat. You're permabanned. You ruined this experience. You're permabanned. Legit though, you guys ruined this league. Like, if the feedback was good from you guys, we would have had this. We would still have this. Now all we have are the bosses. Good league ruined by dumb fuckers. Synthesis had its problems, absolutely. But it did have... like, it had like that delve thing where it was like a game, like you're playing like 2 games at once. You had the mapping thing, and then you had your synthesis map thing going, right? And I thought that was great. I love that. The bosses were good. They had good loot, interesting loot still today. I think it's interesting, although it literally just got nerfed this league, a lot of it. Here's my problem with Synthesis, I think my biggest problem, which is also the kind of like problem I think a lot of other people had. The crazy the reward structure of synthesizing items, fractured items, and getting sick-ass mods was a fucking mystery, and it was actually too hard for anybody other than the most elite top-tier Path of Exile players to get like their hands on. Basically, the fucking most try-hard retards only got to experience the sick-ass mods. I don't think that's right. Like getting Onslaught on boots, or like Onslaught on hit on a ring, or whatever the mods were, the crazy shit. Explosion on your weapon. Like, the fact that it wasn't immediately released how to do that is a problem. And then the fact that it was like what you needed to get those modifiers was like super fucking difficult. It should have been more RNG based or something. Like, I think it was like you needed like 1 tier 2 and like 2 tier 1 light radius rolls fractured into a weapon to get explosion, right? It was something like that, right? They should have made it to where it was like, you need like a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3, and that's good enough to have a chance, right? Something like that. Make it more RNG. Make it more RNG. And let more people have access to it. That's what it should have been. Instead of it being, you need 147 total strength to get the fucking sick-ass roll, endurance charge on ring or something like that. It's like, that was asking too much. But it was a good concept. It was just, they needed to tone it down a bit so that more people had access to the sick-ass shit. Yeah, people didn't even know about that stuff till, like, I'm wanting to say it was like a week into the league, people finally figured out how to synthesize the items. Like, everybody had this experience where like, okay, here we go. All right, I got 3 fractured rolls, and I'm throwing them into the thing. What the fuck? I just got 6% armor as an implicit? Like, that was like everybody's experience, right? It's like, stupid. It sucked. Everybody had that experience. Like, it should have been like, they should have just thrown if they had thrown the information out and made it a little bit easier, the reception would have been that we still have synthesis today. You're glossing over the outside trade experience. We have the outside trade experience every fucking league. In fact, Harvest League is the worst. I'm not there yet. Harvest League has the worst trade experience ever. Because you have to open up like a Discord or some other fucking like third-party thing to sit there and trade benches and shit. Like, you need like super external bullshit to try and figure out the best way to fucking get the exact bench mods that you want. It's really bad. It's the worst. But anyway, synthesis, at least you could put the item in the trade and you could search through fractured item modifier, 16% or greater light rate. Blight League. Here's Blight League. I'm putting it at C off the top of my head because everybody was playing Classic WoW instead. That's Blight League. I don't know shit about Blight League. I played it for like 1 day. And yeah, I played it for 1 day. This is Minion Lords, right? This is where everybody did minion builds. I can't say. I don't know the experience. I can't really rate. Blight League is better as a mechanic than a league. Alright, that sounds pretty accurate to me. Crash to desktop? Yeah, I don't know. I was playing Classic WoW, so I can't really say much. I don't know. I'll let you guys rate it since I don't know. What do you rate this as a league? If you played it. If you played it. What do you rate it? I'm guessing it's about C. Looks like C is right, yeah. That's what I would have guessed. I'll just leave it at C. Like, I don't have my own personal experience other than what's come after that. Next league. Metamorph, right? As a league mechanic, it's like here or here. I'm gonna drop it here to start. as a whole league experience because Conquerors of the Atlas came out, and that's really good. So if they had made another league, let's say this was the league without Conquerors of the Atlas, it'd be here or here. The game is too stale. You've been doing the same thing, and the game hasn't evolved very well. So Conquerors of the Atlas was 100% needed. It's made the game a lot better and made it refreshed up to this point, right? We're kind of due for some new stuff, though. So, Metamorphs. I still don't know what they do. I know things that say like Barrage and like Soul Eruption and certain other things are like pretty rippy. Extra projectiles is fucking crazy. I don't know. It's random. That entire Metamorph League was, shit, my Vol Molten Shell needs a couple more charges. Let me go get my Vol Molten Shell and then I'll do the Metamorph every single time, every single map, because I saw too many people die to them. And I would not touch a Metamorph in a red map, especially with damage mods, unless I had Vol Molten Shell. Conquerors, good stuff. Cirrus is probably like the worst fight. They've kind of fixed it a little bit to make it a little bit. My problem with fights like Cirrus and what's the other one I was QQing about? Cirrus boss fight and Betrayal boss fight, Katarina. Quit fucking trying to make these fights like a fucking WoW encounter. I just want to fight the dude. I don't want to do a bunch of like annoying mechanics that are just a waste of fucking time. It's not fun. It's actually not fun. I just want to fight the boss. You know, you can throw a little bit of sprinkle of flavor, but when I spend the majority of the boss fight fucking running in a stupid circle to dodge this tornado because my character that I'm currently playing doesn't have enough regen to just run into him, it's fucking annoying. Also, I don't like putting a corrupting blood jewel in every single time I have to fight Cirrus on hardcore. It's annoying. It's actually annoying. His loot is top tier. His loot is S tier design. The Conqueror's loot tier, like their loot design is S tier, all of them. Their loot format is fucking perfect. That's spot on. Awakener orbs, Conqueror exalted orbs, Awakened gems, and a lot of the uniques are really good. You got stuff that's used still. You have your Savior, your Ivory Tower. What else is used? The helmet, Crown of the Eye, Inward Eye, the Jewel, whatever the fuck it's called, Thread of Hope, the gloves. It's all good loot, really good loot design. Metamorph as a league mechanic is fucking awful. When the league came out, everything else was good. Cirrus fight's fucking annoying as shit and it's stupid, but good league, good league. Lots of rips, a lot of risk versus reward, a lot of question marks because people don't know what the fuck what's happening in the game. Also, those fucking Baron squares, get those out of. Why do they degen mana? Why is it the only thing that degens mana when a lot of characters play with like, hey, let me reserve down to 8% mana or 12% mana because I can fucking handle it. Except when I'm standing on a fucking Baron square for a fraction of a fucking second. Now I can't fucking play my character. Remove the Baron squares. It's stupid. Or make them not degen mana. It's annoying. Like, why is that the one situation that I ever have to, like, worry about that? Fuck that. Okay. Where am I now? Delirium? Is that right? Yeah, Delirium League. No, I think Warbands came out next. Delirium League. Yeah, Metamorph, you could completely ignore it. That's good. Risk versus reward, you get to decide. Metamorph, or Delirium League. Somewhere here, for sure. Hey? It's good. It's a good league. It's definitely a good league. Last league was good. Last league was good. I played it for a while. I had a good time. There's just one problem with Delirium League, and there's this build that came out that kind of like trivialized everything relative. Like, why are you playing anything else? Unless you're just playing for the hell of it, for fun, whatever, to do some memes. Fucking Herald. Fucking Herald, dude. The strongest build I've ever seen in POE relative to anything. Herald and Kumar, the build. He's been nerfed like 4 times. He still kind of exists, but not like absurd. He could AFK on a Series 8 fight with 3 storms on top of him and be fine. He had that power. And then if he decided to right-click Series, he would die instantly in 1 hit. Cluster Jewels. Fucking awesome. They did some tweaks to them this league. You know, because they got nerfed and then they retweaked them. I think they're in a pretty decent spot now. Good design. Really, really good design. Really good design. Simulacrum. Pretty good design. Pretty good. Very rewarding if your character is strong enough to go, you know, 15 plus or whatever. Even going 1 to 15, you're being rewarded pretty well. The boss structure is kind of questionable to me, because it's just like you run into like some crazy Kosis and you're not really rewarded for it, so it's kind of like flipping a coin. It's like RNG, right? Rolling the dice where things land whenever you do a simulacrum. Same with whatever the other guy's name is, Omnipotenter, is that right? Something like that. Really good design on the cluster jewels though, for sure. I think general mapping was spookier because of Delirium. I never thought they were that rippy. A lot of people QQ'd and they got nerfed, I think. I thought they were a joke the whole time. But, while mapping. But it did add rippiness to your normal play. It's like risk versus reward. I think it was good. Good design. And then you had a reason to make ridiculously strong characters. So you could do harder Delirium content, right? You could add more orbs. You could go up to wave 20, whatever it be. You could throw a bunch of shit in, try to get like, you know, 8 rewards or whatever the fuck craziness. It's a good league. It's good. It's good. I think everybody probably got something out of Delirium League. I think it was good. I don't want to be too hard on this next one, but I'm gonna start here. I don't want to be too hard on it. I'm gonna start here. This is like, this league makes playing Path of Exile. This league makes playing Path of Exile like watching a movie and fast forward. It just makes everything too fast. And it makes us quit the game. It makes anything we like do in the game feel less significant. I don't like, this league makes it to where you see a fucking crazy ass item. It's 6 T1 rolls and you're like, whatever, everybody has that. 1 month ago we had that. If not even sooner. Harvest is an S tier SSF? No, it's not. Liar. Don't listen to that guy. Harvest is C, period. Harvest is a C, period. Maybe worse. I think Harvest does more damage to the game than good. I think this hurts the game. How many people have quit Harvest League? Maybe you're in here, you've already quit POE for this league. You quit Harvest League like quicker than any league you have recently played. By a lot. I feel like that's probably everybody. Because what do? Your characters are way stronger than they've ever been. Relative, right? Because you get too much gear too fast, and then it's like, what am I supposed to do with this gear? There's no... Oshabi's a fucking joke. The boss of the league is a joke. It's like, what? Not even Shaper difficulty? What do you do with all this crazy gear? There's nothing to do with it, right? You just make memes. It's important to have something of concrete, like, hey, there's something ahead on the other side of the fucking mountain or whatever, right? At the top of the mountain. There's nothing like that this league. That's what was nice about things like Delve League. It was like, hey, there's really difficult content. Or like Series 8 when he came out. That was like something to work towards too. But this is like, hey, everything's free. It's just a matter of doing a couple more maps and getting a few more seeds to augment crazy shit. Yep. Harvest League. No, I don't think it's good. Who thinks this is pretty fair? Is this pretty fair? I think this is pretty fair. This is all relative to when the league came out. That's important. Relative, like, Harvest League is better than Nemesis League. We know that. But relative to when the league came out and the league as a whole. Delve, best league ever. Breach just completely broke the game relative to, like, what we were used to. I mean, you went from Essence League and Prophecy League to Breach League. Like, how do you even, like, compare that, right? These are complete two shits, and then you get this. Like, great fucking league. Let others enjoy the game more? Why can't you? Why do you have to have 6 T1 items to enjoy the game? Think about that, though, right? Well, why do you have to compare yourself to what other players are experiencing to enjoy the game? Think about that. Just because you're playing the game doesn't mean you automatically are entitled to have access to every single thing on the game. Even as myself, I wish there were things on the horizon, if you've listened to me. Things on the horizon that I wish I had something to work towards. I don't have anything to work towards in Harvest League. Like when Cirrus 8 came out, everybody's like, hey, we all have something to work towards. We all have some, like Cirrus 8 came out. He's harder than Uber Elder, right? Basically. Arguably. I mean, now he definitely is, but like, it's nice to have something to work towards. When you don't have anything to work towards and nothing to like challenge yourself against and like put time and effort into, there's no satisfaction to be had at the end unless your entire existence while playing a game is just to pass time. Then so be it. But I think pretty much everybody would agree with me that if you have something to work towards and something to put time and effort into, that you can't just instantly have gratification for. Like, we all want that, right? In this game. In a lot of things, but in this game, right? I'm just existing, I'm passing some time. I wish I just deserve everything instantly. There's a lot of Blizzard games for you where everybody wins. You actually can't even lose. And if you do lose in a game of Overwatch, you can just blame the other dude, you know? It's simple. Just go do LFR and World of Warcraft. You did all the content. It's simple. Right? Let there be other games where there's stuff to work towards. It's important for games to have people who are better than other people. And I'm not saying that out of a place of elitism. It's like, it's important to have like, hey, you know, not everybody's on the same fucking level. There's like MMR and like a game like Dota, right? You think just because you're Legend 2, like you have the ability to like say things over the person who's immortal, rank 1000 or something? No, that doesn't make fucking sense. Like, let there be some kind of like gap. Not even necessarily skill, just like some way to like compare, right? Hey, look at like, I have no problem looking at like Dan's character and be like, yo, his character is like way better than mine or something like that, right? That's perfectly fine. It's good to have things to do in the game, things to work towards. Without things to work towards and challenge yourself with, the game is flat and kind of boring, and that's Harvest League. Everything's free. This is the perfect example where everything is free. I think Perandus is kind of similar, but we never had one before this, and a lot of players didn't have access to a lot of certain unique items and builds, and now they actually have access to it through Kadiro, and I think that's a good thing to experience. But like Harvest is just straight like, hey, you go from Metamorph Delirium to like Harvest League, and it's like the game is just significantly like face roll level in comparison to these two leagues. Like, this is effortless league for everybody. And that's why so many people quit the league way too fast, because there's nothing to do, basically. It's like, this is the formula for a good league. Here's the formula for a good league. The general mapping experience is enhanced. Breach League. I'm not going to say that's necessarily the case with Delve League, but like, you have a whole nother fucking game on the side, right? So, good mapping experience, right? Good bosses, and then interesting new ways to do loot. There is interesting new ways to do loot, but like, the boss in Harvest League is dumb. And also the loot in a lot of these other leagues are a lot better relative, right? This is just adding affixes to items that already exist. The difficulty's way off. Yeah, it's like baby's league is Harvest. So what is this alphabet? S, A, B, C, F. Harvest is way too strong. When they said they were buffing Harvest that one patch and then they buffed it, I'm like, what are you doing? I feel like they pulled the Blizzard when they said that. Like, people were QQing about Harvest League, and then they buffed it, and it was like way too strong. It's just instantly way too strong. It was already going to be too strong. It was just people hadn't reached red map, like in the red maps yet. It was pretty early, and they just made it way too easy. They did the Blizzard where they like submitted to the community too easily. Harvest is a test for POE too. I feel like every league they do is actually kind of a test though, right? You saw when they were going through these leagues, Incursion, Delve League, Betrayal League, Bestiary League, all of those leagues, you knew they were all, we all knew if you were paying any attention that they were setting up to remove the old masters and replace them. We all saw it coming, right? Everything is like building upon something. Anybody who was paying any amount of attention to what they were saying and what was going on in the game, you knew all four of those leagues were leading up to basically replacing old masters. They're still doing that stuff, right? I think that's pretty accurate. Some of these leagues I didn't play very much. Blight League I didn't really play. Invasion, Nemesis. I played a tiny bit of Invasion, tiny bit of Bloodlines. I just threw them kind of somewhere and they're not super accurate. I think these are pretty accurate for me. I know this probably pisses some people off. I thought Beyond Experience was awful. This is like, there needs to be a lower tier than F for Talisman. It's the worst league that ever existed, for sure. Yeah, Legacy's not in here. I'd give Legacy around like a B, like I said. What was Onslaught League? It's just 20%. It was the first league that ever created. Just Onslaught and all the mobs, basically. Like, whatever. I think that's important, though. I think a lot of people, if you're, like, I will fight against you if you want to disagree. Like, there are a billion other games where everybody has access to everything. I think it's very good and important for PoE to be a game where there's something on the horizon for the majority of players, and I want it myself as well. I want things out of my reach that I have to work my ass off. That's what I want. The game has that very, like, oftentimes. Like, it's not satisfying when everybody just has access to everything. To do the hardest content in the game, which you could just say is like Cirrus 8, we're not going to include like Delve stuff, like Cirrus 8 doesn't require a single influenced item, and you could probably take off like 2 pieces of your gear on a decent character, and it's going to be pretty easy still. And by easy, I mean like you have like a 60% chance to win, which, you know, you have to put in some effort, but like we have access to ridiculous gear that is way too strong relative to what we have access to difficulty-wise. I thought it was hard. Like, if you know how to actually make a character and like construct it accordingly to what you're trying to overcome, like, you don't need any influenced items or anything. And you could, like I said, you could probably take off like 2 pieces of gear and you're still gonna more than likely win. You don't even need an ascendancy. It's true. You don't even need ascendancy. That's actually true. Yeah. I think it's pretty accurate, though. Is this pretty reflective of what other people have done? I know Ziggy D did one of these. That's the only person I know who's done one of these. I'm sure other people have too. That's pretty close, right? Switch Abyss and Metamorph. Abyss is a good league, like I said. Like Elder items came out, Influence items came out. I think it's good. I just think it's I think that's one thing moving forward that I would like. I hope POE keeps. And I don't think of POE as a skill-based game by any means. I never have. I think it's one of the easiest genres of games, and it should be very relaxed. That's why I get very annoyed with fights like Cirrus and like things where they're trying to make you do mechanics. Like, no, let the characters build do the work, not the mechanical skill or whatever it be, supposedly. But I think it's important for things to be kind of out of reach or on the horizon that you try to work towards, not that they're just basically free. Why is Bestiary in B? Because it came out with Uber Elder, and Uber Elder is one of the best, is the best fight design in the entire game, in my opinion. DPS requirement, which is fine. You need a lot of specific, not like ridiculously specific survivability, but you need a lot of survivability against, you know, cold damage and stuff, elemental damage. And it has really interesting loot through the Watcher's Eye. Some of the other loot's outdated by now, but I think it's the best fight they've ever done. Influence items with Harbinger League, was it? It might have been Harbinger League, you might be right. I thought it was Abyss League, though. Is it Abyss or Harbinger? Because actually, I'm not 100% sure. I'm wanting to say it's Abyss. I don't remember exactly. It was Abyss? Okay, well, there you go. Delve and synth bosses are loaded with mechanics. And we're not talking mechanics where you gotta go into the fucking corner and break a statue or like dodge some tornadoes or walk through a pointless fucking meteor maze. Why is Beyond so low? Because Beyond's this like one of the worst mechanics in the entire game. Stupid. All it does is make monsters that are tankier than, well, are they even tankier than when it came out in the league? Also is when this is relative. MTX, I have like 3 MTX. Yeah, I think like the health of a league. This is one of the unhealthiest leagues I've ever seen on. Is that? Do you think that's accurate for player base / Twitch, whatever? It doesn't seem like this league did very well, and I think a lot of it is because of the reasons I'd stated. It doesn't. There's no like. This doesn't increase your general mapping experience at all. You open anybody's stream on Twitch, 90% of the time they're in their fucking garden messing with some stupid shit, right? Trying to make some like crazy items or whatever, or dupe some cards. Like, okay, cool. That's what there is to do in this league. Like, you're not even playing the game. You're just like messing with like a slot machine and like pulling the trigger and stuff like that. But like, it's just, it's dumb. You're not even playing the game. The boss sucks, which has stupid loot that's just related to basically the harvest with the seeds, the flowers and shit that you get extra. The helmet's stupid that the boss drops, it's retarded. The league mechanic is too strong. Like I could run like tier 10 maps, and I know that's like probably not the best example, but like I could run tier 10 maps or farm the what's that stupid zone called, the quarry, and I will get more character progression through gear running the quarry over and over again than running tier, you know, like 10 maps or whatever. Like they're like stupid level 60 whatever zone greater than tier 10 maps is retarded. That's how strong the league mechanic is, and that's not even going to like the high end of it, right? It's dumb. What is this? Serious question. Does this violate Rule 3 mods? I don't know what he's saying. Definitely qualify under a R3. I don't know what he's done. Someone's being a pussy-ass bitch. Sings a song for people who like Harvest. It's in there. That's awesome. ARPG tier list? Oh, that'd be another time. I haven't even played them all. I've only played a small handful. Rampage is softcore league though, right? So I didn't play it. I don't know what the league mechanic is, but like whatever. Torchlight 3. It's a S tier for sure. Pretty good. I'm out of touch with the player base? Yeah, I am. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm out of touch with the player base, but it doesn't mean that my points aren't, like, valid, especially from my perspective, right? Yeah, no fucking shit, I'm out of touch with the player base. I'm not, like, you know, I try to do stuff in the game that I'm playing. And also play hardcore trade league by default. Not that I'm not capable of playing solo self-found hardcore or whatever, which I did anyway this league and killed Awakener 8. No fucking shit, I'm out of the player base. Like, out of touch with the player base. I don't fucking play softcore trade. Where 95% of players probably play. Right? Like, I'm beyond minority, no shit. That being said, my point still stands valid, right? That Harvest League didn't do well versus other leagues. Why is that? Because you gave everybody everything too fast, and so they all fucking quit by now. Or a good percentage of them relative to other leagues, right? That is the argument that's made. Wrong? Okay. Because Garden was AIDS, not because crafting is good. Okay, that's fair. That's another reason against Harvest League anyway, but sure, yeah. The actual map mechanic? There's no map mechanic in Harvest, though. There's no, like if you click the flower in the Harvest in a map or something and a bunch of mobs popped out, that would have made the league better, but I mean, whatever, right? I mean, there's enough problem with, hey, how did you make your garden? I just opened, I do it. I fucking open a stupid sheet of someone who put it in like a Excel or whatever, and where you put every fucking seed on the ground, right? Or every pylon and disperser. Yeah, it's stupid. No shit. Pogger Zoo. Factorio, is that what that is? Harvest League encouraged me not to learn. I'm not doing that. Don't do that. Don't post that. Every league has been easier and easier for the noob average. I disagree. Here's what I think. This league, from a hardcore player's perspective, would have been a fucking nightmare if Herald didn't exist. The POE, the game was pretty hard during Delirium League, actually, I think. I think Delirium was extremely difficult. If you're trying to do all content on hardcore during Delirium League, it's a fucking nightmare without Herald. It's really hard. Very difficult. One of the hardest POEs ever been is this league right here. Delirium, like, there were not enough good builds during Delirium. You really had to know what you were doing to get through Delirium on hardcore without playing Herald. This league as well, Metamorph as well. Metamorph and Delirium League are difficult as fuck leagues. Archmage and Delirium. I'm not familiar with it, that league. From the hardcore player's perspective, I don't know. Right, Susho? Cool. Good? We done? We done here?